Everybody, what's up? It is Thursday, January 28th. So the GameStop story got even crazier today. Probably heard about it or saw it on TV. Robinhood, that very popular trading app, they shut down trading in GameStop and AMC. And it was liquidation only on positions. That's the only thing people were allowed to do. That sent the stock of GameStop, which had hit $500 early in the morning in the pre-market, that went all the way down. I think it got as low as like $112 or something like that. People were outraged. I mean, there's just this blistering commentary online now about how the little guys are once again getting screwed, and the establishment, Wall Street, the powers that be, they rigged the system so that once the little guys were making money and the hedge funds and the billionaires were getting crushed, they changed the rules of the game and caused the little guys to take huge losses. Actually, right now, as of this video that I'm making, they have reopened trading, I believe, in GameStop and AMC. Robinhood has, and both of those stocks are up once again. But here we are. This is just an ongoing theme, and it is intensifying in this country. And you really see the divide between the 1% or the 0.1% and the big, powerful elite corporations, especially in finance capital, and how they control things, and how when it doesn't go their way, right, they get bailed out, they get trillions of dollars. When the little guy happens to make money legitimately, I mean, these trades were just like, hey, we're going to take a shot on a stock that is way, way down, has been sold way, way down, has a big short interest. There's nothing illegal about what the little guys were doing. Yeah, they got together in chat rooms. They talked about it. They said, hey, this could be something. And they all kind of went into it at the same time. But there's nothing illegal about that. On the other hand, we saw, like back in the financial crash in 2007, 2008, the fraud that was committed, and that's just not an allegation. That was admitted fraud on the part of Goldman Sachs, on the part of JP Morgan, on the, big banks constantly, HSBC, Deutsche Bank, money laundering, market manipulation, JP Morgan, market manipulation with silver and metals and foreign currencies. I mean, and what happens with them? They get a slap on the wrist when they lose billions and hundreds of billions in their speculations. They get bailed out by taxpayers. So, I mean, it has, the whole thing is just, when you step back and like you look at it and you think about the election, you think about how divided the country is, right? You think about, the race issues that we have, the Black Lives Matter, these groups, Proud Boys, Antifa, the so-called, the fraudulent election. I mean, we are at a boiling point in this country. And now this, when small investors finally get a shot and make some money on the backs of, the hedge funds and the billionaires who've been manipulating the market for years and making money, in many cases, quasi illegally or in a shady way, and they're finally doing it legit, the little guys, and then they get shut down. I mean, you could understand the outrage that's going on right now. And I'm not surprised that, there were actions taken on the part of, Wall Street and the establishment to turn things around in their favor. I mean, they pull the strings, and I don't know what's going to change this system. I really don't. But things are reaching a boiling point. That's all I can say. Things are reaching a boiling point in this country. I've seen this happen. By the way, the Robinhood shutdown of GameStop trading and AMC, I mean, that might have been really, it might not have been something nefarious to protect. And I'm not trying to, I'm not trying to make excuses for the hedge funds. Believe me, anyone who knows me, anyone who has followed me for any length of time knows I can't stand those guys. I know a lot of those guys. I've been in this business for over 40 years. I've been a member personally of 4 exchanges. I was a floor trader. I managed money for one of the big hedge funds at one time. So I'm not making excuses for them, but I've seen it a number of times. For example, in commodity markets where margin calls have caused the broker dealers to go under. Robinhood's actions today may have been actions taken for self-preservation. I mean, margin calls that could not be satisfied on the part of their customers put Robinhood's capital at risk. There was a story out earlier today that Robinhood drew down several $100 million of its bank credit lines. So that's kind of an indication right there. But still, the thing about Robinhood that I found out today, and I don't use that app, you know, my stock trading is with Schwab, but I found out today that Robinhood sells its order flow to Citadel. Citadel is a big hedge fund run by the billionaire Ken Griffin. So they sell that order flow to Citadel. I'm not sure if Citadel uses that information to front run those orders, but one thing I can tell you from all my years of being on the floor and being in this industry, I have never met a hedge fund trader or any kind of a short-term, high-frequency trader that hasn't made money through some kind of, I don't want to call it inside activity, but some kind of an advantage over everybody else. You know, and I remember from my days on the floor, and I did this too on my days on the floor, where we would find out what was on the order book of the big brokers in the pit, and we would, you know, on purpose kind of juice the market up or down to hit where those orders were to trigger them off if there were buy stops or sell stops. So things like that. None of these guys, and that includes the biggest firms like Goldman Sachs, none of them are traders in the sense of really understanding the market and making a call on, you know, the direction of the market based on fundamentals. If they have to do that, and this is well documented, even like Goldman Sachs, the biggest guys, the biggest hedge funds, when they do that, you know, and they have groups within their firms that are like, you know, these kind of macro, they're terrible at it. They lose like 7 times out of 10 on their big macro calls. The way they make money is either as market makers or front running or some kind of insider activity. This is known, all right? Me, you, at least the ones who, you know, follow what I do with MMT, we are light years ahead in terms of performance on making macro market calls and profiting off of that. These guys are terrible when it comes to that. Anyway, so that's where we are right now. People are outraged. They have a right to be outraged. They feel screwed and stepped on once again and powerless. And the system has quickly responded to, you know, the losses of the big guys to try to make them whole again, or at least that's how it's being perceived. And I think there's a lot of truth in that. Anyway, go to my website, pitbulleconomics.com. You know, you got to do it the way I do it, with the macro long-term approach. You're not going to get screwed that way. You're going to make money, and you're going to beat all these guys, and the money from them will flow to you. Go to my website, pitbulleconomics.com. Sign up now for a 30-day free trial of MMT Trader. It is worth it, believe me. Bye.